attack is the only word I know in the Danish.
Pilots ready to connect.
Let's go fishing.
2 pilots engaged in neural bridge. Ready to activate the Jaeger in 3, 2, 1.
Is Pacific Rim a child dream for you come true?
100%. I mean, number one, it's a movie that has to be created by a director with 20 years of experience, but is dictated by the enthusiasm and innocence of an 11, 12-year-old Guillermo that grew up with kaiju movies, that grew up with mecha movies.
What did you play with as a child, robots or monsters?
Robots, yeah, cars and robots, that's my thing, you know, mechanics.
So like Transformers?
Transformers, and what was this other thing that we had back in the day, man? I can't remember, but there was this little robot guys that they trained into cars, but they weren't Transformers.
So you're a fan of the genre?
No, to be honest, no, I wasn't. And I didn't realize it was a genre, to be honest, until I started to, you know, take part in this film, and I learned about, you know, the kaiju phenomenon in Japan, and of course Godzilla, but, you know, it was new to me, all new.
I grew up with that. I grew up with the monsters. My childhood is that. There's pictures of me as a 9-year-old boy dressed like a vampire, drinking my sister's blood. There is my first drawings were monsters. I knew Christopher Lee, Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff more than history figures in my textbooks, you know.
And which is your favorite monster movie?
Of all times, if I not need to choose, I would go with Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein, James Whale's. I have in my house, I have a separate home for my monsters, separate from the family, and I live with a lot of silicone life-size, lifelike replicas of the Frankenstein creature all around the house, sitting, standing. I have the face of Boris Karloff as the creature, 10 feet tall in the entrance of the house.
Today, at the edge of our hope, at the end of our time, we have chosen to believe in each other. Today we face the monsters that are at our door. Today we are canceling the apocalypse.
And you have this big inspirational speech in the film. Did you look to other inspirational speeches from politicians or in other movies to get it right?
Well, Colin Powell, believe it or not, was a sort of interesting model for me. Just his poise, and he wore that in a uniform and just looked like a, you know, a G. Braveheart, you know, Mel Gibson does a good one in there. What's the other guy? Russell Crowe. He does a good one in
Gladiator.
Are you not entertained? Isn't this why you're here? It's great. You can't beat it.
You've seen The Hobbit by Peter Jackson, I suppose. Right?
I haven't.
You haven't seen
No.
it, so you don't know how much of your original vision is in it.
No, I made it a point not to see it on Blu-ray or DVD. Peter offered to show it to me in 48 frames. So maybe after Pacific Rim is over, I'll look at it. But I haven't looked at it yet.
What is your opinion on Danish cinema?
I know the ones that everybody knows. I am, you know, I'm friends with a few Danish filmmakers. My cinematographer, Dan Laustsen, is from Denmark. He did Mimic with me and he's doing Crimson Peak with me again. You know, I love the unique perspective that Danish cinema has of genre movie making, because it has a very European sort of cruel wit about the genre that is unique. But I love how it can deconstruct in the very artistic way, like Dogville, or in a very uniquely savage way like Drive. You know, how it reconstructs genre, or Valhalla, you know, Rising, or I love that, but I wouldn't be as presumptuous as to give a lecture on Danish cinema.